5 things you need to know before buying jewelry on your next cruise. Attend the seminars and take advantage of the cruise specials. So, usually when you see your itinerary or what they call things to do on your cruise, there will be jewelry seminars or jewelry events. During this time, the event planners will say, hey, this is what we have. These are some of the stops that you guys are going to have at your port of calls. These are some things to look forward to. These are some things you should probably stay away from. And hey, these are the specials on this cruise. Now, usually it will come in a pamphlet, and then it will be a variety of items that come up that say, hey, these are exclusively for these, our cruisers here for this time period. Now, a lot of the items that come on the specials are limited to like X number. So let's say they only have 100 of, these items. You may have thousands of cruisers, but only 100 or maybe only, 500 of these items are available. So for this particular cruise, they did have one for Effie. They gave you the location, of course, of where it was on the ship. Here, they did have from the Nala collection, they have the cushion cut tanzanite tennis bracelet, which was a 28 karat weight, retailing for shy of $3,000. They also had a Riviere 2 karat diamond studs that were also here for around $2,295. And then they also had a super special, which was a pair of tanzanite studs that retailed for around $150 or so. So those were some of the specials there for that particular shop. But they also listed items that were going to be available at other shops on the cruise as well as at the port of call. So an example, extra percentage off Swarovski, extra percentage off other liqueurs that you may be interested in, as well as percentage off of beauty items that included fragrances, some accessories, scarves, so on and so forth. But don't sleep on the cruise specials. Seek support of the jewelry cruise line specialist, especially if you have concerns for safety. This is a big one. So your jewelry or cruise line specialist, there's usually going to be one, sometimes 2 or 3. They will be there at the jewelry seminars, or when they have those jewelry events, they will introduce themselves. They will also let you know if you have further questions or concerns to specifically reach out to them. I know this is big, especially for people who are on the hunt for more specific pieces. If they're looking for tanzanite or certain stones of a particular weight, shape, size, so on and so forth. Now, in going out to the port of call, there are of course certain times where you may be able to shop, but there's other times it's vacation. You want to be able to relax, you want to go to the beach, you want to be able to go, other areas there as well, and you may not necessarily want to carry your tennis bracelet that you just bought or, whatever item that you just bought. So the cruise line jewelry specialist has a connection, if you will, with certain boutiques via a cruise line agreement. Those are going to be the areas where they typically recommend that, hey, you are safe if you use your credit or debit card at these locations. These locations are verified, certified, products and materials, and these locations will also be able to back you if for whatever reason, i.e. you have further issues. With that being said, you can't set it up to where, let's say if you decide that you're going to purchase a bracelet, maybe that bracelet needs sizing. You don't want to hang around at the jewelry store all day, but maybe you call, hey, your cruise line jewelry specialist, my name is so-and-so. I'm purchasing an item from a verified, jewelry store of the cruise line here. They're sizing the bracelet item. I'm not going to be here when they say that the item is going to be available for pickup. Can you come around and pick up my area for you? So as long as you guys come up with an agreement for what that will look like, the jewelry specialist from the cruise line will go through. They'll again have paperwork to say, yep, you authorize this person to sign and pick up for your item, so on and so forth. And they will pick that item up. They will bring it back to your cruise safely for you. And then you and the cruise line, you and the jewelry specialist will meet up at a later point in time to be able to collect and retrieve your items. Hey, I'm Lenny Shakir. You're watching Kiera's Lux Life, where I bring you all things fun, beauty, luxury, lifestyle, and travel. If that's something you're into, make sure you subscribe. Hit that bell notification so you're notified when I have a future upload. Always get and verify aftercare cruise line contacts for support. This is a big one because there are certain entities that you may only ever see on a cruise line or you may only ever see in another country. And as soon as your trip is over, if you do need sizing or you need support or something else isn't quite right, you want to be able to know that you have that support to be able to, hey, there's a customer service or there's a headquarters located in a city or a town near you to be able to get to be able to get the support that you need. Make sure you verify and get that information. And as soon as you can, get out, maybe give them a call, make sure the information is legit. I've seen some of those crazy stories where people who travel, went abroad, purchased something that was said to have been gold and found out later on it was gold plated, or said that something was to be a genuine stone and later on found out otherwise. So you want to be able to get that information and also be able to get that supporting documentation. So if you do want to follow up, either recourse via legal action or something else, you do have at least a starting point to be able to get you in the right direction. Do your research beforehand. Now, in doing your research beforehand, is some things you can plan for and there's some things you won't be able to plan for. So, an example, before your cruise, you will get, i.e. an itinerary, of course, for your port of calls. Obviously, you can plan and say, hey, an example, if I know I'm stopping at this location or that location, you can obviously look up and see what jewelry stores or what other areas will be available at those port of calls. However, certain agreements and or what may happen between then and now always can change. So an example, while you're in your stateroom or suite, you will be able to see variety of different advertisements that will come up on your TV. These usually come up during commercials. You'll have certain channels where that's all they talk about. Hey, at your next port of call, you'll see this store. This store offers blah, 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 blah. In those variety of items, you'll be able to see other good deals, some specials that you may be able to see as well, other products that may just interest you in general. One thing I will say is, which leads it to, is do not impulse buy. This is a big one, and they 4 and 5 kind of go hand in hand with that do your research piece. So, an example, on one of my previous cruises, on the port of call, on the TV, like I mentioned, they had their advertisements, and it was said to be for a topaz stone, X weight, wrapped on a particular neck chain. So they had it, they showed it, they said the item is supposed to be retail around X number of dollars. If you're interested, stop at, I would say that was maybe Diamonds and International or whichever one it was. Stop at said store. So we get off, doing our thing, doing our tourist thing. I said, hey, let's stop by such and such a store. They had their advertisement that it would be, X number of dollars for said item. Cool. So we get there, hey, let's check out the item. A couple of the boutiques were sold out, but we did find a boutique that did have it, because at this point, you're curious. You're like, hey, let me see the item. Let me see the product. And they said, oh, okay, we're now offering it for this amount, even though the advertisement said it was something different. That is one of those, even though the new amount could still be a good deal, that's one of those you can't exactly plan for everything. And then it also kind of circles back to why. If you had the advertisement, especially if you get it, and it is in one of your what they call insider offers, it is something that should be honored, and it is something that should be offered to those consumers if that was something that was advertised that way. Definitely let me know your thoughts on the top 5 items of things you need to know when buying jewelry on your next cruise. And I will see you guys on the next one. Bye.